somewhere along the way, men started believing that being gentle means being weak, and being faithful, especially as a Christian, means being passive. But that is completely wrong. I don't know why a lot of Christian men are believing that nowadays, because it's just not the truth. It's actually distorted, because even Jesus, he was gentle, but he was a strong man. He disciplined his kids if he needed to. He disciplined himself. He humbled himself by allowing his father to bring him down here to sacrifice his life for us. That is not a weak man. That is straight strength. He cried for us. That is strength, to cry as a man. And I want to talk about why I feel like nowadays a lot of men mistake being Christian with being weak. Just because you cry doesn't mean you're a weak man. That's so wrong. And nowadays I see a lot of that. And I think the biggest issue is that a lot of us men have insecurities. If we're being completely honest, and I'm not meaning to pick on anybody or call anybody out, but a lot of us men are very insecure, and it stems from a lot of things. A lot of it can come from trauma. It can come from being church hurt with God. It can come from even their ex. I've met a lot of men that have been with multiple women and have been destroyed mentally because of breakups. And it's not a funny thing, but I feel bad for those types of men, because at the end of the day, I believe that if we all as men put our faith and try our best to put our faith in Jesus and try to live out the biblical truths that are in the Bible, we will be more masculine. We'll have biblical traits that come from Jesus and come from all the prophets in the Bible, but we'll also still have that soft side of us. But just because you're Christian doesn't mean you're soft. And for me, for my story, you guys know, I moved to Texas literally 2 weeks ago. When I first got here, I didn't tell you guys, but I cried. Does that mean I'm weak? I have a strong physique and I look good, but I still cried because I was mourning out to God regarding this stressful situation that I was going through in my life. And that doesn't mean I'm a weak man. In fact, a lot of people tell me that I'm strong because many men don't cry. So I encourage you guys to cry whenever you do feel overwhelmed or whenever you are going through some form of hardship in your life. Now in Corinthians, I want to say it's Corinthians 6:19. He clearly tells us that our body is a temple, and it's important that we discipline our body. If you are a weak man, I don't think you would be disciplining your body. In fact, I think, yes, most men are weak from a spiritual standpoint, and that's where a lot of men, we just aren't congruent enough. If we were to have a scale, one side of the scale weighs 800 pounds, and that scale is our physical strength. And on the other side of the scale, it's 0 pounds. That's our spiritual strength. I think if we were to balance out our spiritual strength with our physical strength, we would be much more better men. Not for ourselves, but for our communities. Protecting our women nowadays. Protecting our wives, your daughters, my guys. Protecting your daughters. A lot of problems happen today, I feel in the world. They happen because we have a lot of weak, irresponsible men that don't take responsibility for their actions and take complete autonomy over their lives. They don't control their lives. In fact, most men don't. Most of us live on autopilot. We have a woman directing us. We have the government directing us. We have people that we don't even care about directing our lives. But the moment we start to develop those biblical truths, go to God, confess our sins, try our best to become mentally, physically, and spiritually lean, if you will, and strong, that is when life gets better. Ever since I was 18, when I joined this Young Life group, it's like a Christian group in high school, I realized that we can have strong Christian men. And if we're together in a pack, we cannot be stopped. Humbly speaking, we can't be stopped by the devil or by the adversary or anybody else that tries to ruin our day or ruin our life or ruin our world. We make the church. We as men and women make the church. So as long as we're going all in with following biblical truth, making ourselves stronger in the gym, building our temple, Corinthians 6:19, our bodies were bought at a cost. It's not free to have this body, and our bodies are not our own. So take care of it as if it's not even yours. You would take care of somebody's car, somebody's Lamborghini, if you're driving it. Take care of your body like it's not even yours, because it's not even ours. It's God's temple, and he's in us. So we're made in his image. So the moment I realized this, as I moved here to Austin, Texas, I was y'all, coming here, I was so nervous. But now that I'm here and I got a job here and I'm doing the social media stuff, I'm finding out that putting my faith in God, having that still strong faith, that armor in him, really makes a difference. And I cry, whenever I get stressed, but I'm crying out to him. I'm not crying because I'm a baby. I'm crying out to him because it's as if I'm repenting. It's as if I have a softened heart. And just because you soften your heart, another misconception, just because you soften your heart doesn't mean you're a weak guy. I feel like the ego with a lot of us men get in the way. But if you take that ego away, burn the ships, look forward to Christ, soften your heart, you will have a better outcome with a lot of things in your life. You will be able to think better. Jesus could have easily killed a lot of people in the New Testament, but he realized, hey, like, I have all this strength, but I'm going to hold back. I'm going to restrain from going crazy on these disciples that don't know any better. Forgive them, Lord. They don't know what they do, type of thing. So if you can have that same mentality as Jesus and be strong, be masculine, but know that it is okay to cry, but also, again, know that being a Christian doesn't mean being weak. I guarantee you, your walk with God and your walk in the gym and your walk with everything you're doing will be 10 times much better. Trust me, you guys. That's all I wanted to say for this video. I don't want to rant too much, but I hope you guys taking a lot of value from this. This is very important to me because I see a lot of men going through it nowadays with mental health, emotional wreckness in their minds, and they're just going through a lot of tragedy. But if we learn to open up and soften our hearts, but still be that strong man, that strong guy that we're meant to be, strong, disciplined, divine men of God that we're meant to be, who knows where life could go? I'm still working on it myself. I'm not a perfect guy at all. I'm not perfect. I'm trying my best to always be masculine and feminine at the same time, but also preach the gospel and also try my best to live by his biblical truths. And we'll see where it goes from there. Enough talking, y'all. Look, if you want to make a change in your life with the Lord, with your fitness, with your body in general, comment down below, spirit and body, and we'll talk. I got a lot of nuggets that I can share with you guys for absolutely free. I'm not here to sell you. I'm just here trying to push the message that we don't have to be weak men, and being a Christian doesn't mean you're weak. You're strong, brother, but sometimes it is good to cry. Love y'all so much. Peace and love. We're out of here.